In breaking news, a high-profile Western Sydney mayor has revealed that he won't be running in the upcoming state election. Julia Bradley has the details from Fairfield Council chambers. Julia, there had been speculation about whether Frank Carbone would run for some time. I felt like he gave us a fair hint that he would last week on this program, but he's decided not to.
Well, it's clear that Frank Carbone has really been toing and froing for quite some time. He's been thinking about this for months. Plenty of speculation, as you say, about whether or not the independent mayor for Fairfield, which is in Sydney's west, would in fact throw his hat in the ring and run for either the seats of Cabramatta or Fairfield at the upcoming New South Wales election. But that statement posted on Frank Carbone's social media pages just a short time ago, confirming that he is not going to be running for either seat. Now, these are both safe Labor-held seats. So Labor was really nervous about the prospect of him running, given that he enjoys a lot of personal popularity. But despite the fact that thousands of posters are ready to go, all that campaign paraphernalia is ready, he's not going to be running. And here's what he had to say. He says that today I have announced that I'm not contesting the state election in the seat of Cabramatta or Fairfield, and I'm staying as mayor of our great city. The most important reason I was considering being a candidate for those seats was to bring much needed government investment into our city, which has been neglected at a state level for so long. He says he loves his role as mayor, but he was willing to be a state candidate if it meant that a commitment to allocate funding for our community was forthcoming. Now, it's a very lengthy statement, but what he goes on to say is essentially that he wasn't impressed by what the state government was offering. His two priorities for the community were fixing Fairfield Hospital and getting more money for his community through West Invest. But he says after months of conversations with both Labor and the coalition, he says Labor was promising to do more in these areas, and him running as an independent in those seats would only hurt Labor's chances and aid the coalition. So he said that's why he's essentially made this decision. Now, as we know, Frank Carbone, he was really an instrumental person in helping Di Lee, who's the federal independent for the seat of Fowler, get across the line back in May. He's long been vocal about more investment in the West. We know he's been critical of Labor's stance on gambling reform, wanting them to go harder, and also critical of that recent position that Labor took on cancelling 2 metro lines that he said were really crucial for his community. So he's really a man that's not afraid to speak his mind, and he's clearly carefully considered this decision today. He doesn't want it to aid the coalition's run and to hurt Labor's, because he believes that Labor is doing more in his area.